Okay, so this question is: do Democrats really have a choice in November? As a Bernie Sanders supporter, why should I even register to vote? Um, so, if you are a Bernie Sanders supporter, I still think that you should definitely vote in November. I mean, look, I'm not going to tell you to vote one way or the other, because to be honest with you, like I've said all along, I don't think a moderate Democrat is any different from a old school Republican, and I don't even know what Donald Trump is. I feel like he could wake up one morning on one party and if it behooves him the next day he would switch parties. That's just kind of how he rolls. So if you're a Bernie Sanders supporter, I would almost look at it the same way as Bernie Sanders does now. Obviously he was super disappointed with not winning, um, but he still understood that the move was to support Joe Biden. So I think if you register to vote for the president of the United States in 2020, I do think that we can make a small step forward for what the future is going to look like. That's going to look a lot different from if Donald Trump wins and he's in office for another 4 years, um, because we know what Trump is going to do, and I think we know what Joe Biden is going to do. Because he was Obama's vice president for 8 years. I understand your question, and it seems like it's out of frustration. It seems like, hey, what's the point in showing up to vote for Biden, who is a candidate who's not progressive, who doesn't seem to be interested in tackling any issue that's relevant to many Americans, especially young Americans. But what I can say is, Biden is in his 70s, and he still has Barack Obama on speed dial. And he still owes favors to every one of the Democrats who dropped out of the race, who decided to endorse him right before Super Tuesday. So think about it like that, right? Would you rather vote for Trump? Which, hey, if that's what you want to do, go for it. Or would you vote for a figurehead, which is how I look at Joe Biden? Because everybody in the Democratic Party, whether they are progressive or moderate, they will be in the ear hole of Biden, because in order for those endorsements to happen right before Super Tuesday, they were promised jobs. So everybody from Pete and Kamala and Cory Booker and Beto and Hillary and Obama and Michelle Obama, every one of those people are represented within the Joe Biden figurehead. And here's the thing: I know who asked this question, and I understand how you feel the way that you do. And I don't know if I have made a convincing argument, but I think that if we vote for Biden, if we register and vote for Biden, and Biden wins, I think what will happen in the next 4 years will not be a representation of a 70-year-old moderate white guy who has been in public office for the last 40 years. I think what we will see, is the passing of the torch, where he will be in the position of power, but he will have so many different smart, progressive people giving him ideas of what we can do as a nation to move forward, that I think if you look at it that way, it is worth registering to vote, and it's worth showing up to vote in November. And I hope I was convincing. at least that's how I see it as a progressive American. But yeah, thanks for the question.